Part 4, which is closing day, when you're really excited to basically get something that you've been anticipating for the last 120 days, 90 days. And that's a quarter of a year, by the way, a quarter of a calendar year. You're really excited. You're looking forward to it. And then everything falls apart. You know what that looks like on the buying side of a real estate transaction? Oh, my bank couldn't send us money. My bank couldn't finance us because my broker dropped the ball, which is what I covered in the pre-qualification video. If you guys want, go check that out. Number 4, which is the closing part, which is what I referred to as deal supervision. Now, let's say you just made an offer. You've confirmed you want to buy this property. And this is you at the point of basically realizing at the last minute you can't close on the property that you committed, that you look forward to buying. Maybe you let go of your rental. You started selling off your stuff. You started ordering new furniture, etc., etc. Now you're smacked into this wall of financial woes and emotional roller coasters and that gut-wrenching, nauseating feeling of you wanting to puke out your intestines because you can't close on the deal and the money that you had invested is also not recoverable and 90 days of your life is gone and you've just essentially uprooted yourself. How do you avoid that? Let's go back in time to the moment when you signed on the dotted line and said, you know what, I want to buy this house, and you went unconditional. If you don't know what that means, watch my previous video, which navigates offers. At that point, between that point and let's say your closing was 60 days out, 90 days out, myself as a realtor, as your realtor, would be like doing deal supervision. And I'd be like, I need to know 60 days from now, the documents that you provided your financier, whoever your freaking financier is, if they're going to go like, I'm sorry, your letter of employment is outdated, your tax information is outdated, that you need to re-provide it to us again, even though tax information doesn't become outdated. It's just kind of weird. And then your bank statements are outdated. Or if you did the stupidest thing ever and you decided to go buy a boat, a freaking boat, or you decided to go buy a car in the middle of this time period between when you made the offer and went firm and when you are about to close. Don't buy a freaking boat. That's never happened to me, but it's a funny example to use. So I forgot to do the intro plug. So here it is. Hey, I'm Ali Tunio. Drop your real estate questions and stories in the comments below. And if you want to view homes in the Greater Toronto area or talk about your real estate matter, send me an email, send me a text. We'll jump on a quick call and we'll talk about your real estate case. On to the rest of the video. But, don't go buy something massive between when you've just gone unconditional and you're about to close on a property. Do it after if you can. What ends up happening is that you got to make sure that, hey, talk to your broker and stay in regular communication with them. Do you need my documents? Let's do a quick recap. Your letter of employment, your T4s, your notice of assessments, bank statements of 90 days. Please. Next to the boat example, do not suddenly come into a massive inheritance of hundreds of thousands of dollars into your bank account where the bank is going like, what is what's going on with this guy's account? Because you would have basically raised anti-money laundering laws and alarm bells. FinTrack, that's what we got. So you just be going nuts with this stuff. Like, you got to be very careful as to what you do with your financial information, your bank accounts, etc. Or suddenly, God forbid, you got fired and then your financial situation was materially changed. If there was a material change in your financial situation that would make you ineligible or would require the pre-qualification, the qualification of your financing to be redone, and it requires a time period of 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Do not deal with that 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks time period or lender shopping at the time of closing. Because when you're begging the seller, please, sir, give me 2 weeks to close on this property and don't take my deposit away and don't relist your property, etc. Please. And you're running around town from one mortgage broker to the next, getting your credit history destroyed because you're trying to get lenders look at your financial situation and hopefully get somebody to finance this deal. You're going to be getting a lot more white hair that are appearing on this video. So yeah, I noticed that. I started making videos. I'm like, yo, there's so much white hair. Good God, how much wisdom did I accumulate in the last 4 or 5 years? So anyways, make sure that your lender is saying, stop being paranoid. Thank you for providing us all your documentation. Your financial situation has not materially changed. We're good to go. And when it's time for closing, your lawyer calls you into their office 3 days, 4 days before. You sign your documents and then 3 days later, everything is executed and done. You got to make sure that your lender, that your financier, whoever the frick you're using to basically close on this property is on point, ready, and they don't have an objection. And that's the whole reason why you're compiling that set of documentation. And once again, like if your mortgage broker isn't answering your freaking calls as soon as you call or, isn't reassuring you that, hey man, I got you as well, just like your real estate agent does when it comes to like there's that side of the transaction, get somebody else. Don't take the risk. And lastly is the closing costs. Now your lawyer is going to go ahead and have a conversation with you about the closing costs. But prior to viewing homes, or while viewing homes, actually, you can have that conversation with me, and we can have a conversation around your expected closing costs. That could include lawyer fees. That could include, God forbid, if you use a private lender, don't do it. That could include their fees. That could include moving fees. And if you're buying, for example, that could definitely include the land titles transfer tax. Now, if you're buying in Toronto, guys, there's 2 land titles transfer taxes, municipal and provincial. If you're buying in anywhere else other than Toronto, then you only have one type of transfer tax. I'm dyslexic, by the way. I don't know, something is getting mixed up in my head, but yeah, there's one tax. And then after that, there's just the moving logistics. And this is something that you could do, but make sure that, there are services out there that'll help you with the utilities, changing your utilities name and stuff like that. And that's all been worked out. It's just the moving logistics, and just make sure that you have all that stuff worked out with your moving company. That was on the buying side. On the selling side, it's just a matter of the real estate agent ensuring the seller is on point and making sure that they're going to vacate the property and that their funding is on point for the property that they're purchasing as well. And a lot of the times, a real estate agent who is helping you sell is also helping you on the buying side of the transactions. It helps with the logistical aspect of making sure that everything is kind of falling into place. You close on this property today, you're going to close on your next property that you're buying tomorrow. Make sure that you're actually leaving the property in good condition, that God forbid the other side isn't going to do a holdback of a set amount of $25,000. That's right. I will advise my clients to do that if suddenly we do a second visit and we see something massively wrong with the property. And there's many ways to be reasonable when it comes to resolving issues, unexpected things that pop up, and unexpected things always pop up. Like, you really want to make sure that you work with an agent that has done this so many times, that have the experience when it comes to when things go wrong and how to navigate them to make sure that your transaction, that your buying journey, that your decision to acquire that property, not getting derailed because of inexperience or lack, or let's say somebody just gets into the fight and flight mode and it's the realtor and it's like, no, shithead. No, your job is to basically stay grounded, have the experience, ask the questions, deal with people, work things out with people. It's your buyer's right to have the emotional reactions of fight and flight and then calm them down and make sure that everybody is staying calm and getting things done. And then you guys become homeowners and the home seller sells their property and then they go ahead and purchase their next property, and that's it. Everybody lives happily ever after. So that is the closing side, the deal supervision side of the real estate transactions. Now, if you really enjoyed my content so far and you're like, yo, I really like the million data points that are running through your head when you're talking about these real estate transactions, share this video with someone, call me. Remember to drop your real estate questions and stories in the comments below. And if you don't know what I'm looking at my phone with this little outro here. And if you want to view homes or want to talk about your real estate case, just check out my link, send me an email, and we'll jump on a Zoom call to talk about your real estate case. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next one.